Hey team, and welcome back to another episode of Toe the Line. Today I have two very exciting guests here. This is actually my first time doing a dual interview, so no pressure. It's everyone's first here, so let's all be nervous together. I'm also very lucky to be here at the Chiefs HQ. The Chiefs have been unreal to me this year, so I'm very grateful to be in this space and interviewing two legends. So today's guests are Rameka Poihipi and Toiroa Tahuriorangi. Guys, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, this isn't my first time meeting Rameka. How did we meet?
No, I actually had the privilege of meeting you, I'd say 5, 6, maybe.
I think it was, I was thinking on the way down here, I'm pretty sure it was end of 2018.
Yeah.
Pre-season at Crusaders.
Yeah, so you came in, I was in the academy at the time and had the privilege of hearing your story and what you've gone through, and it's actually awesome to see what you're doing today.
Oh, thank you.
At the end of it, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, if you told me back then that I'd be doing this, I'd be like, no way. Because when I did that talk with the Crusaders, I got there and I was like, I actually don't want to be here anymore. This is so scary. I was 19 standing in front of a room full of fully grown men, and I was like, I'm seriously rethinking all of my decisions leading up to this point.
No, it was awesome.
It was horrible, actually. I think back and I cringe. I'm just like, that was so bad. You know, when you look back on certain situations and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I did this weird, or you're just like, oh, that's so weird.
I think that's why it was so good. It was just so raw and...
Because I made an idiot of myself.
No, it was good. Not at all.
Well, my first question is, how are both of you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Obviously, I got a wife. Her name's Kelly, and a little boy named Thomas, who's 10, nearly the same age as some of the boys on this team. So, it's been actually quite good in the off season. Been just spending a lot of quality time with them. I'm from Rotorua, so obviously it's in this Chiefs region, so that's home for me.
Yeah.
Just being there, pretty much. So yeah, it's been good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm very similar. Very good. Had a good trip away before coming back into pre-season, but let's get away for the off season with my partner, and then
you got engaged?
Got engaged, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that was good.
Yay!
But,
were you nervous?
Oh yeah, shit yeah.
Yeah?
But nah, got it done, and back in here with the boys. Good to see all the faces again, and ready to rip in.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think we touched on it before we started, but you guys have never done a podcast before, have you?
Nah, not really. Not one like this, nah.
Why not? Has no one asked you? Is that the reason?
I think it's just more usually when I speak in front of the boys and then I can be myself, but when, stuff like this, it's hard to be authentic, So just get a bit nervous in front of the mic. And
do you mind if I ask why?
I'm not sure. I think it's just, you just become shy, but I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Really point it out if I...
Yeah. Don't worry, I still get nervous doing this stuff, that I'm just got to fake it till you make it, really.
Yeah, it's just out of my comfort zone to be doing this stuff.
Fair enough. So let's chat off season before anything else. Obviously, we just touched on it. But what do you guys get up to during off season? Do you think about rugby at all? Or you just nah, leave it at the door and do something else?
Personally, I kind of always have it in the back of your mind, just to keep on top of your fitness and whatnot. The last thing you want to do is come back in here unfit.
Yeah. Did you guys do Broncos day one?
No.
Oh,
I think we might be the only club that doesn't before Christmas, which is an absolute result. But it's good not having that anxiety of coming back in, having to be fully fit like that. But I think Donk was saying that's just big trust in terms of the last few years, how we've earned the right to actually have a bit of more of a break, and he trusts that we're going to come back in after that New Year period all fit.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Obviously, you try not to think of rugby, but as rugby players, you got to keep in mind that pre-season, off season does come like that. Next thing you know, you're back in training. So yeah, it's always in the back of your head, and you're just trying to stay on top of it.
Looking back on the 23 season as a collective for the Chiefs, last game didn't get the win, unfortunate, but you can't. I feel from my perspective, you can't look back on the season and think, oh, we did shit, because you guys didn't. You guys were the form team throughout it all. What do you think the collective thoughts and feelings are in the team kind of now that you've had time to recoup, cool down and look back on the season?
Yeah, I think touching it, we were gutted to have lost that final. I think, what was it, the first day we came back in here, like, we actually sat down and acknowledged the season it was, acknowledged that it was a great season, almost like, you know, the fairy tale ending, but the reality is it wasn't. But still celebrating those times and the success we had with actually thinking about how we can take that next step forward and go one better.
Yeah, for sure. And looking back on the 23 season, what are some things, or just even one thing, that you're each personally taking away from the 23 season and wanting to build on for 24?
Wow. I guess the challenge is how do we get that step further, and we pretty much come in and talked about it like Ramsey said, acknowledge what we did and things we can get right, and that's, I think, a lot of the boys are taking it on board and excited for leading into this 24 season.
Yeah, for sure.
And then probably for me, it's probably just like take a lot of belief from that last season. We lost a few big players in this team that have been a part of this organisation for a long time, but also a lot of these young boys that are coming through like massively stepped up last year, and I'm sure they're going to go another step again. Yeah,
for sure. I want to touch on something that I don't really often see too much talked about, that you looked a bit nervous when I said that. But like, you guys, like, and at the same time, like with me saying that you guys can share as much or as little like as you want to, but I want to talk about like week to week selection in terms of the playing 23. I don't think it's talked about a lot, and like usually you've got your like front runners who are always playing and then some like guys on the outskirts. How does it affect you like personally as just like a person, not even an athlete, when you know you're not getting selected or you are getting selected, and like what are the feelings around that, and like do you put pressure on yourself and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, like I reckon for every player that's probably the hardest thing about our job, and probably the hardest thing about it is that everyone wants to be in that 23 every weekend, but not everyone can be.
Yeah.
I know personally, like, you'll put your best foot forward to make a case for yourself, but whether you get selected or not, it's that kind of decision. It's not up to you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, regardless if you're playing or not, like, I think the beauty of it is, like, we're all real good mates. There's no like bad blood towards someone that's in front of you, and there's definitely disappointment when you're not playing, but also there's a next step of how can I prepare the team, which is, I think, a real strength of this group.
Yeah, there's not much to add to that, but I'm pretty similar. Like, obviously you're disappointed and stuff like that, but I think the first things first is just connecting with the coaches and stuff like that, if you're not getting selected or if you are. But like same again, there's no bad blood in this team, and I think that's the beauty of our franchise is, you know, whether you're playing or not, you just put your best foot forward, and then whatever's best for the team, kind of their mentality definitely helps it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you find those like conversations hard to have? Because I know for me, I'm like the least confrontational person ever. Like, I probably cry every time I have to go to someone and be like, "Hi, I've got this problem." Like, I usually break down because I just hate it so much. Do you like find those conversations hard, or do they get like easier over time? Because I don't know how I do it. I'll be like,
I'd
no
say
thanks.
like they are hard, but you kind of have to have those.
Yeah, just part of the job.
I think the way that we frame it up is we almost look at them as like a care conversation, and if there's no harm intended, there should be none taken.
Yeah,
like it's all coming from a good place of either trying to help you get better, or like Triple T was saying, like, it's what's best for the team. And sometimes, you know, whether you agree with it or not, like you've got to take some of that on board if you even want to have a chance at actually getting back out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Had it on the head.
Yeah. Staying on the subject of mental health, do you think mental health is talked about enough in the rugby space, like as a collective community?
Probably isn't, but I think there's massive progress over the last few years around this space anyway, and a lot of boys have been coming out and, you know, talking about it, and I think it's just that connection with their person. If you are close with them, it's a lot easier to, you know, understand him, get to know what's working for him, what's not. But I definitely do feel like these last couple of years it has been, you know, like a lot of the boys have definitely come out in the space and being vulnerable and stuff like that. So, but it can definitely be better.
Yeah, for sure. You agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, Probably exactly what he said. Probably not as much as what could be of it, but like you look at some of the likes of like Izzy Dag and whatnot, and guys who have a big profile who are actually, like you said, being vulnerable and showing that it is okay to feel like that and ask for help.
Yeah. Why do you think it's not easy for people in the rugby space to talk about?
Probably just like the persona of what a rugby player is, and the probably what comes with the perception of being a rugby player, especially if you look at back in the old days, like they're all tough, few words kind of sort of set up, but
hit over their head and say toughen up, pretty much.
Exactly. And
it's
almost like stepping out of that space, well, obviously is very difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to put you guys on the spot either. I just know that from my own personal experience, and Rameka knows this, but I dealt with a lot of mental health issues when I was younger. And this podcast isn't about me either, but I just find it so important to talk about. Like, I was bullied all throughout school and everything, and I had 6 suicide attempts, and I just often find the conversation super interesting why people don't talk about it, because I don't even know why I didn't talk about it when I was going through stuff. But like, all I know now is that like the more I share and talk about it, the easier it gets and the more people feel connected to you. So I just always love hearing people's like opinion on it, and I know it like affects all of us in one way or another. So yeah, I just always find the mental health conversation super interesting.
100%. I also think too, like some of it's the background of how you are, or how you've been brought up.
Yeah,
definitely plays a part. I definitely feel like the younger generation, especially nowadays, are a lot more sensitive, and then they can show that side and not be judged. I think for a lot of the older guys, it's still in them to kind of show that stigma, I guess, and
hard to break out of that kind of habit.
And it's pretty hard to, like connect with those guys, because they're so how do I say, fixed mindset. Like showing that side to them still is weakness, but
yeah, fair enough. Are there any things that you guys do on like a day-to-day basis or like over the week to keep the mental health in check?
For me, like I'm a bit of a gamer.
Yeah.
But like Ramsey. But Fortnite, I feel like Fortnite, gaming, stuff like that.
Yeah, takes your mind off stuff.
Kind of a couple of hours, but also family time, going back to Rotorua and stuff like that. Definitely helps with my mental space.
Connection with others and stuff, Yeah,
that would be my biggest one, is just having exactly what you said, having good connection with others, making sure that like that connection's there, so if something is on my mind, I'm comfortable enough to share it with obviously my partner, and also got my family in that there if I ever need them. But
yeah, definitely. Circling back to like selections a little bit and kind of staying on the topic of mental health, I've had a number of conversations now with like rugby players and like current rugby players, and they all kind of say the same thing around timeline, where like all of their timelines are different, I guess. They never kind of all debuted at the same time, or there was never like one set timeline. I was just wondering if you guys had any sort of like tips or like pieces of advice for people out there who are like struggling with their mental health because they're not making a team and they think they should be, because the talent pool here in New Zealand is like crazy good as well. So I was just wondering if you guys could share any wisdom on that, because I know it's a hard one as well.
It is a tough one. I don't know. I've had a pretty interesting run in terms of missing out on a lot of teams through school and whatnot.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the time, it did feel like the end of the world, like that I wouldn't get to where I am today. But I've seen a lot of other people accelerate into this environment, and I've seen people take even longer than me to get here as well.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show that there isn't, one mold fits all, like
set timeline type of thing.
Yeah, like. A lot of it's timing.
Yeah.
But the kind of best piece of advice I received is almost like train and play like someone is watching.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching, and opportunities come from all different sorts of places. So you just honestly never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
As long as you know that you're doing the work, like I'm sure to get rewarded at some stage.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty similar. So like my journey, obviously from Rotorua, I grew up in Rotorua, went to Rotorua Boys High and all that, so obviously wanted to play for the Bay, but at the time they had good halfbacks then, so made the shift down to Taranaki with my little family, and I think it's just on hope that I was lucky enough, and then obviously like Ramsey said, how bad I wanted to be, becoming like an athlete, a rugby player, and I think it's just trusting too, like trusting that the work you're putting in might seem like it's going to take a long time, but it does come. And just chipping away at it. And for me, it was just like, a lot of it was just built on just believing that I could be in that, environment, knowing that like when I was younger, watching the Chiefs in that play, seemed like it was far target to get to, but as I got older and stuff like that and started to make a name for myself, I guess, in Taranaki, that aim came a little bit closer and then wasn't too far off. So the advice I would give is probably just trusting, first of all, you got to believe in yourself and then just back yourself the whole way. It might not come just yet, but if you just keep working at it, it'll eventually come. That makes sense.
Nice. Good answer. Okay, sweet. Let's chat pre-season. Firstly, how different is pre-season training compared to like in-season training?
There's a massive change, but I think it's been good here lately. Like Rams touched on, the boys have done well over the last couple of years to earn, testings for next year and stuff like that. And I guess as you get older, pre-season does get a bit tough because the body doesn't move as quickly as these young fellas here. So you're trying to invest in yourself. But no, it's been good. Obviously, day one, you just catching up with the boys, catching up with the coaches and stuff like that. And then I think from there, you're just ready to get stuck into it. You have a good break anyway, and then just before Christmas, you want to earn those festivals, I guess.
And new kits as well. How are you guys liking the new kits for the 24 season?
Yeah, they're not too bad. Grateful.
What about you?
We haven't got too much of the kit, but obviously the jerseys behind us. Can't wait to learn what they represent, and I'm sure we'll get those soon.
Not sure how ideal it was to record in front of mannequins. I'm not sure what the vibe will be. But anyway, moving on. At the time of recording this, we're about like a week or so into your guys' pre-season. How's it been so far? You touched on it a little bit, but I'm always so curious because I know, like, from my athlete background, pre-season we didn't really have a pre-season, we just trained all year round, but I always find it so fascinating. It always looks way harder, so I'm just like, tell us all the goss.
To be fair, our pre-season's been
chill.
Chill's not the right word.
I saw you guys building out there on socials the other day. That new field's looking so cool.
But no, it has been very good. I think a lot of it for us is about building a foundation to go off for the rest of the year, and a lot of it's about learning. But in between, in amongst all that, like, we do get a good blow on, but in the sense of like just through rugby training. Touch wood, we haven't actually had to get on the line and actually do running blocks yet. So hopefully that continues. But the young boys that have come in have been awesome. The way that they've been able to pick up a lot of the stuff that's been here for years has been good, and I think that's where a lot of the learning comes from, plus some of the new stuff that gets added in. So when we come back after New Year's and Christmas, it's just integrating those All Blacks back in, be full go.
And you guys are off to Japan as well for a little pre-season hit out. Are you guys excited for that?
Should be good, eh?
Had you guys ever been to Japan?
A couple of times, when Sunwolves and that stuff were here, so that's always a good trip. Good experience over there. Can't wait. Hopefully get over there.
Yeah, I have not been to Japan yet, so super excited to go.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. In terms of goals for the 2024 season, obviously winning is like an obvious one, but apart from winning, what are kind of some of the group's collective goals for 2024? Like, what are you guys wanting to work on, whether it's on the field or off the field?
Yeah, I'm not sure, eh? Like, obviously it's winning, but I guess we'll know over these next couple of weeks what those actual goals look like. But I think for me personally, it's just being a better person, coming in each day to try and, like, compete and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't know what to say around our team. goals
That's all
and
good.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other than winning.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said. Donk's real big on building connections, like we talk about caring for the team, but you can't go into the trenches if you don't even know much about the guy next to you who you're going in there with. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to know the new faces around here, and I always love coming back to this Chiefs environment for the camaraderie that is here. So
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah. I hate to bring it up, but falling short right at the last hurdle last year, I can only imagine cut deep. I won't lie, I shed a couple of tears. It was quite heartbreaking. But how, I guess, like personally and as a team maybe, do you keep that balance between remembering it enough to like feed you and drive you and give you that hunger to keep going, but also leave it in the rear view enough to forget about it and look ahead? Sorry, it's a hard one.
We touched about it like first day back in. Like we acknowledged last season and for what it was, but we made it clear that we did. Yeah, like you said, we didn't want to keep our heads turned to the past.
Yeah.
I guess the good thing about this group is the motivation never came from losing the previous years.
Yeah.
It was always about probably bringing out the most out of this group, and the potential that we actually have was our big motivator. So we're definitely not going to lack motivation this year.
Yeah.
Not that we have, but it hurt, but it's a new year, and it's a like everything from last year's irrelevant at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to add?
I guess it's just the guys that we're playing and that are still here. Like you said, there's no motivation, but obviously it's still in the back of your mind how close we were. But yeah, we're not dwelling on it. We've taken the learnings from it. Yeah. And I think it's probably, moving forward, it's going to be better for us.
Yeah, fair enough. To wrap this all up before we play a little game to finish.
He's good at games.
We can't. Unfortunately, we can't all be like athletes forever. Like the time has to come to an end at some point. In terms of like legacy and what you want to leave this club when you do end up leaving, what would be something that you want, I guess, your legacy to be like when you leave? What do you want people to remember you for? What do you want people to say about you when you go in an ideal world?
I guess for me, like just being a good person, being a GC guy, was easy to get along with. Yeah. Competed. Just some of the things if I was to leave, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll be similar as well.
Yeah.
I'd rather be remembered as a good fella off the field than a great rugby player. So
yeah, for sure.
Obviously strive to be both, but it's the friendships that are going to last a lifetime. Yeah. Rugby's going to be over in a blink. So
yeah, good answers. Okay, so we're going to play a little game of Would You Rather. I've tried to keep them as nice as possible, but it's always fun when you can put people on the spot. So sorry in advance. Okay, first one. Would you rather always have to hop around on one foot or have to always squat?
Hop around on one foot.
Yeah. Also, with the always squat, I'm unsure what the parameters are, but
like
just...
walking like a crab, eh?
Yeah, I guess so. Or like...
Are you missing a leg if you're hopping on one foot or...?
No, I think you've still got your leg. You've just got to hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopping on one foot.
Oh, you thinking like long term, like when you've got to sit down, you've still got two legs and everything. Okay, yeah, good thinking. Okay, would you rather...
That's what I was thinking, one foot for the whole time. Your whole life.
Not sure if you cut out for that life. Would you rather be the funniest person alive or the prettiest person alive?
Would you rather be Trip or Trip?
Probably the funniest though.
I'd rather be the funniest.
Yeah.
I was going to say both, but okay. Would you rather pass or score?
Be honest.
I'd rather score. I don't score many tries. So
Okay, yeah.
I'd rather score a try, yeah.
I'd rather pass, Team first.
Okay, fair enough. He set you up for that one. Would you rather have an amazing game but lose, or play an average game and win?
Average game and win.
Average game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather, okay, and this one might be a bit close to home, so sorry, but would you rather go undefeated in the regular season or win the championship? Sorry.
No brainer.
Okay, fair enough. Would you rather peak early or late in your career? When I saw this, I got the answer, but then I deeped it and I was like, okay, maybe this is a hard one.
Peak early.
If you peak early, sign a big country.
Okay. Would you rather have to play on New Year's Day or Christmas Day? And like an actual Super Rugby game,
Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Yeah, too much fun on New Year's Eve. Yeah, okay.
Chip doesn't want to miss R&B.
I've come up with this one myself, and I did think it was quite funny. So, would you rather cry every time you got the ball, or scream like a really high-pitched scream whenever your team got a turnover?
Release! I was screaming.
Stop! That's so
I was
funny.
screaming. I don't cry. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll scream.
Give us a high pitch, bro.
Okay, I think we should
Michael
implement this.
Blackson.
I think we need to implement this for the 2024 season. When I'm out there watching you guys play, I want to hear the high pitched screams whenever you get.
Release!
Okay. And actually, that's all we have time for. Really, that's all we're done. But before you guys leave, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I know you guys always have busy schedules and stuff, and the Chiefs have been unbelievable for me this season. They honestly changed my life. So whether you indirectly or directly impacted me, it really means a lot. And I just love the Chiefs so much. You guys mean a lot to me. So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing all that you did, and you can let the people at home know where to find you if you want to be found.
I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Like Ram said, it's awesome to see how far you'll come, and just keep on going. I think a lot of people will back us by saying that you're doing an awesome job. So keep it on.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Chiefs, we love you too.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks,
Appreciate
guys. And if you're listening on audio, make sure you follow, because if you don't, I will come and find you. And subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, guys.